Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, and here you see almost completed piece of the green-eyed monster, but I wanted to show you how to put some extra embellishments. I told you about the I'm a nail tech, so there's little tricks and stuff that you can do with your artwork. One is this is an old paintbrush that I sharpened the end of, and gives you a little skinny dowel. Most dowels that you get are a certain size. They're like the size of a pencil, but this is an extra skinny one, so it's going to give you much littler specks when you go to kind of erase out, and you can get extra fine little specks, which you may not even be able to see that, but over in this area of the picture, it's kind of a golden color. And it's actually got, if you zoom in on it, it looks like there's like a frosted goldy look. So you can get that with erasing a lot with the dowel and your eraser, and then you can also, I don't know if you can see, but I've got some embellishments on that right now. See, I'm using my hand to block the shadow. If you notice on the eye there's some embellishments of gold that's shining up. Now down in this area of the photo, there's a lot of gold. So I am just going to add a little bit of a kind of a goldish tint to the skin, and then I'm going to put some embellishments on there. So I'm coming in with my Takumi, and I'm just adding a little bit around the area where there's going to be a golden. Oh, don't want to overdo it. I like the Takumi, but it's not my favorite airbrush. I know. Everybody says it's the best. I do have, though, if you do have a Takumi, I don't like the big cup that comes with it. So you can, I have a Neo, just a Hobby Neo airbrush, a Wada Hobby Neo, and they come with different size cups. And I took off the cup to try it, and it actually works. So hey, if you don't like that big honking cup, then you can don't have to spend your money on the littler cup of Takumi if you got a Neo. Most people have a more of a hobby airbrush. There, I got a little bit too much came out, so I'm gonna just. I don't know if you can see that. Here, let me go down a bit. Got a little bit too much come out there, so we'll have to highlight that a little bit with some gold. Yeah, I think it might be dry now. Standing back a little bit. I don't want to get too much on there. Okay, that's good enough. There's a lot of different things too that you can do. This is like a mica powder. I don't know if you can see that. And it's like a rub that we nail techs put on the fingernails, and then we rub it. And then it's really, really shiny. And we have to use like a no white top coat to get that effect on it. But in your airbrushing here, I don't know if you can see, but I do have it up here where it's really shiny. And I have a little bit right in here with the mica powder and a little bit here. And how you do that, you got to be very, very tricky. Um, First, you airbrush on your color wet. You wait like, I don't know, 5 seconds. And then you take a dab of maybe this on a, this is a eyeshadow thing. Like, and then I would stick it on there and let it set. You don't wipe it, you don't rub it. Come back with another one, stick it on there, let it set. Again, you don't wipe it, you don't rub it, you have to wait till your color that you sprayed on wet totally dries. Then after it dries, you can come back in and rub that, and it gives you a really, really shiny, shiny color. Ta-da! Again, you have to be very, very particular how you do this, because if you try to rub it too soon, you're going to rub off your paint. You don't want that. If you wait too long, you're going to get it a little splotchy. So if you don't want to test it on a really good piece that you're working on, you want to test it with something that uh, you don't care if it gets messed up or not, and then you go from there. Sometimes you can even do it with it dry, and then if you're going to spray a preservative coat of matte clear on it, it will stay on there. So then when you move it to the light, you'll be able to see, which I'm going to try and do it. I don't know, but see those shiny little colors there. And I'm going to show you how to apply the little specks. So what I do is now I do not use, sorry about the compressor, um, the illustration colors to do this. I use a regular acrylic paint. Um, what I mean by that, apple barrel, folk, or whatever kind you have, and you want to use the color that's closest to what your artwork is, which I don't have up here right at the moment, but I'm going to get it real quick. Um, so I'm just going to, let's say, oops, say I got a little bit of green on this edge of this here. I'm just going to take what like to use. I don't like to use a brush because you never know where those bristles are going to go, right? But you can use the round end of a match or a little. I use a lot of these little lip applicators that women use to put lipstick on. They're really not green, but they're white, and I will dab them on with that. So what I will do is I'm wanting to put some specks in here. So I'm going to just dab on a little bit of green. Then I'm going to take something else that is wet, like another brush that I've wet with just my tongue, and I am going to place it right there. Now when that dries, it's going to stay put because it's acrylic paint and it's not all the way dry yet. But when it dries, it's going to stay put. And again, you don't want to like move around a lot because you're absolutely going to get your paint off of there. Your airbrush paint, that is. Again, I dab with a little bit of paint. Where's my little? And then I take a little embellishment. Now these embellishments you can get all over the place on Amazon. You just type in nail shimmers or glitters or embellishments or anything like that, and you can find all kinds. You can even find them littler than this. I just kind of wanted to add a lot more to this painting and than what's on the actual picture. So that's what I'm doing. And I'm sorry that I didn't show you how I airbrushed the rest of this because I messed up. Had to go back in, recolor over completely in white, and it was just a nightmare. And it was my fault um, for I didn't have the correct color, and I should have matched it. I didn't. Live and learn. See how I accidentally moved that down a little bit? Now I'm not going to come in there and move that up because I don't know if you can see what I did. Because if I do, that's going to take my airbrush uh, color off. I do not want that, so I'm going to leave it alone. It's still going to look good. And then I'm going to add a lot more of these over here, and it's going to be tight with these embellishments. And you can even do glitters, but I like to stay away from the actual glitters because they do tend to fall off, and I don't like that. You could spray. I've used in the past Pledge acrylic uh, floor covering. Now I know that sounds ridiculous, right? But it does work, and I've sprayed little areas because it stays a little tacky, and you can just like boom, 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 add it on there, let it dry, and it looks wonderful. Especially if you're going to clear your work anyway. Um, it won't hurt your clear coat or anything. But if you want it to stay matte, you don't want to do that because you don't want it to be shiny in one spot and then matte in the other. So you have to kind of pick and choose, what you want to do. There's another one. And I'm picking up my little glitter speck. And I'm placing it on there. And I'm going to go and get my other tool right now because I'm messing this up. Uh-huh. There. Boom. Got that? Let's do another one over here. I want it to be tight. There, my paint's starting to dry. You want something that's small and like an end of a match stick. It's really little. There we go. Pat that down a little bit. See how neat it is? Um, I don't know if you can see it from the. And again, there's all different sizes. There's little spots up here, and there's bigger ones. I don't know if you can see. See how it shines? Yeah. And then again, here's a rub up here. I don't know if you can see it, but it's kind of a turquoisey look right up in the. There you go. You got it right there. That is a rub, and it's called flakes. And I will go get it and show it to you. So if you want to try this, you can actually get on Amazon and get your own. They come in little containers that are kind of look like this. Now, one will be, I think they're called Board and Pretty, but one will, they just, let me unscrew this. This is the color I have on there now. And I don't know if you can tell from the lid, but it's just a flaky rub. And let me get some on a stick. See how it's just flakes, and it'll lay right on your artwork, especially after you have sprayed. And you can just kind of rub it on there and it sticks. And the other one, just called nail flakes or whatever. Born Pretty has a lot of them. This one's kind of a yellowishy gold color. Oh, it's not showing up. Well, darn it. And that would be put right in here. In this, I don't know if it'll stick, but I will definitely try it. See how it sticks to my finger? See how it's a gold? I don't want to mess this up, but most of it's going to come off anyway. No, it's not sticking. You have to have something moist. So like you would spray a color on there, and before it completely dry, you would stick this on there, leave it alone, and then after it completely dries, then you'd rub it. A little bit stuck, but it'll probably, yeah, come off. I don't want to really try it right now because I've got enough gold on there already, and I don't want to put any more. But I will be putting some on it. I think I've got quite a bit up here, and I've got some turquoise in the eye part there, and that was from. Uh, it might work a little bit with the. Let me see if I can just dab some little. Again, that may run it, so I don't. We're going to put a little gold there before that acrylic paint completely dries. It did. Yeah, it's better with the airbrush. But anywho, I wanted to show you that, and I don't know if you can see it, and it's very pretty. It adds a lot. It adds a lot to this piece. See the sparkles? And I suppose you could put a lot of that in your airbrush too. You know they make the pearl paints and the glitters, but I just don't like putting those in my airbrush. Again, I'd rather do it with the embellishments. So yeah, and if you want to see the finished green-eyed monster, it's still taped up, and I still got my piece over here showing, and I will be adding a lot more gold in here, but yeah, there. So yeah, bye guys, thanks for watching, and we'll start a new one this week.